This is Nigeria. How you will know is ask yourself. Ask yourself, for most of you that were not born in mega cities like Lagos, Port Harcourt, or anything, if you were raised in maybe in a local area, ask yourself, the place your father and your mother, where they have their house, it's been over how many years now? How is the place? Has there been any development? Has anything increased there? Is there new industrialization there? What's up with that place now? I will use my own as example. I grew up in Okitipupa. When I was growing up in Okitipupa, at least then we still even used to have lights like once in a month, sometimes twice in a month or twice in 3 years. Guys, you can ask anybody in Okitipupa now. For the past 15 years, is it 15 or something? 15 years. They do not even know what NEPA looks like. There is nothing. In fact, they don't even have NEPA office again. Whereas then, when I was staying there, I used to have. But then, if I wanted to buy land, I'll feel like when I buy this land and I come back in the next 10 years or 15 years, I'll be able to sell it at a higher price. Things would have developed and everything. This is 10 and 15 years. What has changed? But when your celebrity is advertising for you, come and buy this land in Kinikon estate. Now they even give the estate very, very fine name, very, very sweet name. Come and buy land in something estate. It's very close to this one, and you can spread your balance over 12 months. After 12 months, you become the rightful owner. You can spread your balance over 6 months. After 6 months, the way they will say it then, as if now so instrumental payment easy. My dear, don't ever. That instrumental payment is actually called land contract. That is what it is called. Don't ever do a land contract. If you have your money, have your money. If you don't have it, leave it. You will see these realtors, I've been waiting they call them. These agencies, they will make video. I used to see them when sponsored that you can see it's dry land. You can see the way I'm working on it. There is no water here. There is no kiniko. It's dry. Can you see how very dry it is? They will pack sand for you. See, very, very dry. Very, very dry. Dry land inside dry season. Before uncle, it go wet. It go wet. It will be dry now. It will be dry. Don't ever. I say ever. Don't ever buy land during dry season. Let me not lie. Land actually appreciates, but if you don't invest properly, especially in landed properties in Nigeria, it will actually depreciate. Not be all land they appreciate. Make sure to watch this video to the end. Watching this video to the end will not even cost you up to 200 naira or 400 naira data. Make sure to watch this video to the end before you go and buy land worth millions of naira. Watching this video to the end will not cost you 200 naira, up to 200 naira, 500, or even worse, let's even say your network is bad, 1000 naira data. So that's one thing. That's why I'm ever adding extra this thing. 23 common mistakes with acquiring land in Nigeria. So the 23th of it, I just added it now, is even when somebody is trying to actually enlighten you people, you just feel like this one is talking too much. It's that one that is inside you that you will still do. And then when they scam you, you now start tagging G-Scope and everything. Make sure you watch this video to the end. It is just, I don't know how many minutes this video is going to be. Even if it's going to be a 2 hours video, it is worth it than you investing your life, your hard-earned money. Learn from other people's mistake, not be by show. Anyways, let's dive right into it. Before you buy landed properties in Nigeria, be it land, be it already built properties that you're just acquiring, be it building, be it anything, as far as the thing is on top of land, it's not under the land. If it's under the land, I don't have any business with that one. As far as the thing is on top of the land and you're paying for it. According to Land Use Act 1978, all land, are you understanding my English? All land, regardless of who dash you, who gave you, who you bought it from, who you anything, regardless of anything, belongs to the government after 100 years. I know that most of you do not know this, but I am telling you this. So if you actually acquire a land and you pay for it, you did all the things, blah 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 blah, after 100 years, it automatically what becomes the government property, unless so you now go back to either rebuy, whatever, anything. But after 100 years, it go back to the government. So when you see government comes to property and say, hey, this my land, you see, like you say, it's your grandfather that gave your great grandmother, your great grandmother gave your great grandfather, gave you, they shall give each other, they reach your time. I feel like government want to cheat you. Anyways, that's just one of those shows. So when you're actually buying a land or a landed property, anything as long as it's on the land, you're actually entitled to just 100 years lease. Anything more, nothing less. No, it could be less, but that is actually more. So you're actually entitled to just 100 years lease. After 100 years, the land automatically becomes the government property. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your home girl, Ashetemis, and of course you're watching Keeping Up with Ashetemis of Ashetemis Empire. So I had to make this video as urgent as I could because of all this land scam and everything going on there, and people losing their hard-earned money. In fact, when I read some people's comments, how much they paid since 20 Kinikon, they've not allocated them. I'm just like, hey, I mean that I lose ordinary 2.5, I'm having a headache. Some people will be calling millions, and you're still alive. Oh, you're strong, you're strong. So that's why I decided to actually make my research and from my experience to actually share some of those common mistakes that you all make, especially in Nigeria, buying landed properties. At least if they even scam you about, you will see police to drag somebody. But yeah, they will tell you, say, police no they interfere for land matter or may you carry and go court. It's always court. Some they even do juju for somebody. So before you, it's better safe than sorry. Before you actually invest your hard-earned money. And again, so before we actually continue, one thing I actually want you to know is in Nigeria, tenancy law actually favors the tenant more than the landlord. You will hear some place and then you'll be like, this is Nigeria. Tenancy law favors the tenant more than the landlord. So in whatever you're doing, when you plan to acquire properties for residential, especially for commercial purpose, having a tenant, you really have to use your head, because whichever mistake you made while during the process of acquiring the land or whatever is none of the tenant's business. We're not there. Our one is to pay money and live and enjoy our life. So if you now come and say, it's somebody that's coming, it did not concern anybody, it did not concern. Make sure to watch this video to the end. So now, before we actually start talking about the common mistakes of acquiring land, there are some basic things that most of you do not know. You only just to carry money to go and buy land, and you just feel like that ends there. Now, before you buy a land, you really have to know the land status. So what are land status? We have 3 types of land status. We have the free land status, committed, and acquired land status. So if a land status is saying it's free, that means it is free for rent, it is free for lease, it is free for anything, nothing, government will not even come near you. Then if we have committed, if the land status is committed, that means the government actually has a specific interest on that land. They're either planning to use it for airports, for train station, for maybe building office like federal office, like maybe federal housing, maybe office like Ministry of something, Ministry of Affairs or this, or maybe they actually want to construct a road, a bridge, or anything. Anytime you hear committed land, run away. And then the last one is acquired. Acquired is most problem of urban houses. Urban. And when you little one go, is most problem of urban houses. And I wanted to say almost all the land, but let me just say it like this. All the land in urban areas, they are actually acquired. They're actually under acquisition by the government. Do you guys remember, or I don't know if you guys saw it online, when Magodo landlords versus Lagos state government? Exactly. That is what is going on. So even as this thing is going on, I know some people still go and buy land and say, she government will come and pursue us and everything. So when you want to actually invest in landed property, it's very important to actually know the the status of that land. Not like when you now enter now, you come and say, government come and bulldoze your this thing, did not pre-inform you, they will not kill it. When this thing is there, it's going to show head inside. So when you actually see a land status that is showing free, of course you're free to rent it, you're free to buy, you're free to resell and anything. But when you see a land status that is showing committed or under acquisition, you see those two words, Omoyami, japa from it. No matter how you pay the urban town near planning, no matter you pay the agency, whatever, you can never perfect the C of O. Government will still come back hunting for you. The worst you can do for that land is to place it on lease, maybe to just lease it for the couple of or maybe few years till when government is ready to use it, and then you sign an agreement. But anything outside that, Omoyami, choose japa, I'm gonna look for free land. But if you feel like they are twisting your head from the village, like they are blowing breeze on your head, and then maybe one person is assuring that don't worry, the government is my kinikon, and you actually end up paying the money, you end up settling them. Do you know, funny enough, that's why this Nigerian government safe, you start building your property. Do you know, funny enough, they will not even say anything. They will not talk. They will leave you to build it. Build, sometimes you even be living there, be using it, they will not even say anything. Then when the government is now ready to use it for their purpose, maybe they want to build road or this thing, that's when they will not come for you. They will not come and tell you. Some are even nice enough, they even come and tell you that they give you 14 days to vacate this place, 2 days to vacate this place. Some will never say anything, you just be here, boom, you come and say, waiting they stop, not tractor, waiting will happen. They want to come up with those deals, then you start the video. Government is this, you cannot stay in Nigeria, kinikon. Why won't you kinikon? Didn't you see the status of the land before buying it? Did you confirm the status of the land before buying it? So these are common mistakes landowners or property distinct actually used to make. And it does not mean if the person is rich or not. In fact, now these rich people, they even commit the most blunder because they will feel like and they paid for it, there's nothing money cannot do. And see, there's something about government. Every 4 years government changes. 4 years government changes. Probably you actually had a deal with maybe a particular governor or anything that is in post now, and then you guys agree that blah 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 and this, and then give it the land. Miami, after 4 years, nothing like that again. Nothing like that. After 4 years, when another government resume, is the one in charge of the land. So when that government that resume, the new government that comes and say, okay, this place I want to use it, and they come and propose it, and you're saying, we have agreement with the government. The government the governor you had agreement with is already a past governor. Come meet him in his house. I'm going to be dragging with him. Now, this is the present government. This is politics. And that is why I started by quoting the law for you. After 100, that all land belongs to the landlord. Sorry, to the government. So anyway you see committed or acquired land, please carry your confessions eyes and get out of the place. Or the worst you can do is actually lease. Or I will actually not advise leasing a land. Why would you actually lease a land? Is it for maybe for hotel and everything? So when the government is not ready to use it, what will happen? You bulldoze it, waste of money. Unless you're actually sure that what business you want to do, like in a sharp business or anything. But really, I will still not advise it because doing business with government, yeah. Anyways, no, they should come out for family matter. So now let's go to the 24 common mistake that you all make. So I've mentioned 23 of it, which is when somebody is even trying to enlighten you, you guys don't even have the patience to actually sit down and actually listen to hear what the person say. Then the 24th of it is knowing the status of the land. Anyways, okay, now let's start. The first one and the most common one is you will just be on your own. Your money will be inside your account. Sometimes you even fix the money inside your account, and then you'll be scrolling through Instagram, and then that's how you see one celebrity or your favorite influencer, they will not come. Buy house in Kinikon Estate, selling for Kinikon million, 24 millions Kinikon Square. Kinikon is just behind Dangote Refinery, on top of Dangote Refinery, 2 millimeter away from secondary school, 5 centimeter away from bank, 100 millimeter away from fast food. This one, that one, and then you showcase. That's nice one. And then the person, it will not be as if person even ready man say, you see that money that you have in your bank, come and use to buy land, invest in landed properties. In few years to come, it will become more money. Land appreciate, stop leaving money in your bank, that kind of thing. And you say, you be like, it's true. Let me not lie. Land actually appreciates. But if you don't invest properly, especially in landed properties in Nigeria, it will actually depreciate. So before you actually spend that money, that is why I am telling you, make sure to watch this video to the end. Land actually appreciates in Nigeria, but if care is not taken, if you do not do the proper thing, the land can actually depreciate. So it's not about just shouting, land appreciates in 10 years, land appreciating by next year, they are building something there, kinikon. So the first common mistake is celebrities advertising land, or somebody with large followers, and then you automatically trust the person that this person cannot lie and everything. That celebrity that is advertising it, that celebrity gongon, ask them, do they have a land where they are advertising? Them themselves that are advertising, do they have a land there? Majority of them do not even land. Let me just tell you something, guys. Celebrities, celebrities, what are they doing? They actually work for money. I'm not sure. I don't know. So far, psychologically, I don't know of any celebrity that is actually concerned about their fans. Most of them are actually bothered about the money they want to collect. If you like, make them scam you don't consign them. Their own is just to carry your, aside gist lover or gist lover. I know say gist lover is bothered about her fans. Before she will advertise for somebody, you go know this one are legit. Aside gist lover, I don't know of any celebrity that actually have the interest of their fans at heart. Their own is just to collect money. Recently, I actually heard about all this investment, this one invest, and you expect this type of money back. And then who are these people that actually advertise for them? Celebrities, A-list artists that actually advertise for them. Sure, you will tell me that you do not know that they are scam. Okay, let's even say you do not know. You just said that you came to advertise it. Did you invest money there? And then, so when the fans even came crying, they scammed, then the person is not replying. What did they do? They did not even utter public. Is there apology that they used to say? It's public, whatever. We are sorry. Nothing. They just as if they did not hear. What does that tell you? They are just doing their job. They'll just collect their money. Come and see what they want to say. Now it's left for you to actually use your sense, or you should use your whatever. I am not trying to rule out that maybe they are not original this thing or anything, but I don't know about anybody else. So I don't know. But you see, for me, if I will actually be buying anything because a celebrity actually advertise it, that means that thing, past 2,000 or 3,000, it will be something of small money that I know, okay, even if I can let go. But when we're talking about 1,000, this thing, I prefer to go and make my own research. And that is what I actually advise everybody to do. So something of, with high money, like you have to spend a lot of money for like landed properties, and you all know the risks that come with landed property. Just because the celebrities are advertising it for you, that them they say they don't get land for deal, but they want you to come and buy. So that is number one common mistake people make. Some people might not even have minds, they don't even want to buy land yet. Some people might just be abroad, they'll be like, okay, when they come back onto Nigeria, they'll come and perfect their this, and then they just see this as a repair. Oh, she's my celebrity coach, I can trust her and everything. Then bam, you send money to the person, and then you start attacking gist lover. Gist lover, they never allocate land for me. Gist lover never see my land. Gist lover, this one, that one. Then use your hand to yourself. So number 2 reason on our list is, let's even say you do not fall for celebrities, you actually went to actually try to buy your land yourself. Number 2 common mistake that you all make is buying land during dry season. You will see these realtors, waiting they call them. These agencies, they will make video. I used to see them on sponsored that you can see it's dry land. You can see the way I'm working on it. There is no water here. There is no kinikon. It's dry. Can you see how very dry it is? They will pack sand for you. See, very, very dry. Very, very dry. Dry land inside dry season. Before uncle, it go wet. It go wet. It will be dry now. It will be dry. Don't ever. I say ever. Don't ever buy land during dry season. I'll put in a link in the description box. There was one of my houses that I stayed in Nigeria that during rainy season, flood used to enter. It was not Lagos, it was Ibadan. It was not Lagos. And it was after then that residents from there said that that's how the thing used to happen every year. And really, when I came to rent this house, it was during dry season. Everywhere was dry. The water entered to the house like it was tall. It was as if it wanted to carry the house away. The thing spoiled my generator now. Do you know how much I spent repairing that generator? Push it to between like it swallowed it. I'll put the link in the description box, you can't see it. So from that time, that one actually taught me, even to rent house. Because I used to wait for rainy season. So land, don't ever buy land during dry season. Sometimes some land can even be like river or river basin or river origin, but during dry season they will look so dry, and then they will just sell it for you. During rainy season, you just see that you have one extra borehole somewhere, so just close your eyes, wait, buy umbrella. If you cannot enter the rain, buy umbrella. When you want to buy your land, buy it during rainy season, because water, after fire and water, are two most natural disaster that you should actually run away from. Fire and water. See, if water spoil your house, you know that mark that it used to give, and the way, like, you will do all your tiling, or you just wake up, meet yourself inside river Niger, river. Go and ask Lekki people now. Go and ask them. So whether you do gutter or not, there are some places that is really like prone to water. So before you rent house, make sure you rent it during rainy season. And I'm not even talking about all these small rains. During like all this August, that kind of rain will be saying go fall. As if saying no, they stop, that there will be water everywhere. Yes, that is the best time to actually go look for land, because that's when you will know whether this land is water lodging, whether it's got the type of even soil that is even there. If it's water, that is when you will know. Just close your eyes and wait till rainy season. Number 3 is installmental payment. So this was tipping us to our number 1. When your celebrity is advertising for you, come and buy this land in Kinikon estate. Now they even give the estate very fine name, very sweet name. Come and buy land in something estate. It's very close to this one, and you can spread your balance over 12 months. After 12 months, you become the rightful owner. You can spread your balance over 6 months. After 6 months, the way they will say it, as if now so installmental payment is easy. My dear, don't ever, that installmental payment is actually called land contract. That is what it is called. Don't ever do a land contract. If you have your money, have your money. If you don't have it, leave it. I know some people will be like, it's not better to pay and at least you are this thing. Is it better for you to pay? And then maybe anyways, so now let's talk about the disadvantages of land contract or actually okay, now let's talk about the disadvantages of land contract or installmental land contract or land payment. So now let's talk about the disadvantage of installmental land paying for land instrumentally. Number 1, ownership is unclear. For example, a particular land is 4 million naira, and then maybe you paid 500k or even 100k. Who is the owner of the land? Is it for you or is it for the vendor? And do you know, even in this 1 million that you paid, you don't have any documents. The only thing that you even have is even receipt. Who is the owner of the land? And then this particular vendor will actually give you a signed contract that you have to pay this 4 million within 12 months. And if you don't pay it, and maybe within 12 months, maybe every 3 months you pay 1 million, or maybe every 4 months you pay 1 million, depending on that. And then like if you default for 1 month, you actually lose the payment that you paid for the first one, or a certain percentage will actually be deducted and everything. But then maybe you just got a job and things are just flowing for you. You feel like, I don't want a small thing, and then you now pay, and then God knows whatever happens. What happens? What happens to your 1 million naira that you paid? Then you start bagging this lower, they've scammed me, this lower, this one, I mean, anything instrumental payment for land, avoid it. Number 2 disadvantage of instrumental land payment is high interest rates. Or high payment for land. Let me tell you guys something. Let's assume a particular land sells for 25 million. Then I come to advertise it that, oh, sir or ma, this land is actually 25 million naira. And then you feel like, oh, 25 million naira is much. I cannot pay, I cannot afford it at the moment. No, I want something cheaper, something like that. And then somebody else now come to advertise probably maybe the same land or another land to you for 35 million at the back of governor office, in front of this one, in front of that one, 35 million naira. But the person is actually telling you that you can spread your balance for 2 years or for 3 years. Which one would you go for? I came to meet you with my land. My land costs 25 million naira, but you can't pay on installment. You have to pay once. You told me it's expensive, you cannot afford it. Fine. Somebody else came with the same land or another land for 35 million. She see the difference, 10 million difference. The person's land values at 35 million. The person came to meet you. I want to sell this land, 35 million. You say you can't afford it. The person was like, don't worry, you can spread your balance for 4 years, for 5 years, and everything. I can be paying 5 million every year or something. Just give you a very good payment plan. Which one would you go for? The payment plan, right? And maybe if the 35 million is even in a better location, you'll be, yes, that's true. I like it because this thing you allow me to pay. Yes, possibility. That land no even reach 10 million or maybe even 15 million. Let's even say 20 million. But just because they are letting you spread that balance for a long period of time, so it actually looks very cheap to you. So instead of dropping 25 million at once, looking like a big money, hey, your account is going to empty. You're looking like 35 million, 5 years, you have land. Can you now see the difference? So person where they tell you say make you pay on installment, na scam. So it's actually better if you know you like a land, you love a land, you like it, and this is how much they call it, but you cannot afford it at the moment. Like this is how much they call it, but you can't afford it at the moment. Fix your money. I know especially in Nigeria, fixed deposit does not increase. You can even save it in dollars and change it back. If not, fix your money. Leave it there. It's better. I know that even that 25 million naira land, in the next maybe 1 year or even months to come, the value of that land would have actually increased to like 28, 30 million, depending on the location of the land and anything like that. But which one is better for you? Having maybe your 5 million that you have in your account fixed. You are looking at it like this, that my 5 million naira is fixed in my account. Since you can't pay for 25 million. Or carrying that, instead of fixing that 25 million, paying it to somebody that came to meet you that is 35 million. And then you're not even sure if you'll be able to raise the 5 million for the next month. Or even if life can happen, guy. Life can happen. So when life now happen, that will now come and be telling you, you signed a contract that if you default in this one, you will lose this one. And then probably you lose your 5 million or part of your 5 million and everything. Which one is better? So you see, anything instrumental land contract. So at times when I actually rent expensive out, some people will tell me, why don't you build a house instead? Kiniko, I will just look there. Not not to buy land though. If not to buy land, but don't get land. It's not to just buy land. You have to be strategic in buying your land. And I will explain further. So those are the disadvantages of instrumental payments. So you are at risk at losing your prior payments. In fact, those land people going to even be happy you should not get that money to pay. And even if you actually get to pay the 35 million naira, when you're ready to pay, that's when they can come and tell you, somebody else has paid for it or this thing. Then they will return your money back to you, which is not going to be in a complete form because they will remove some certain percentage for you. So which one is better? Saving your money inside the account and probably adding extra money to get the land, or so another disadvantage of this instrumental payment is For example, as me, you pay that 5 million to the person selling land for 35 million. Do you know that who is the owner of the land? The land is still for the vendor. If you like come and talk, the only thing you have is receipt of partial payment. So the vendor is still entitled to use the land. So the vendor can actually be using the land for farming, using it to rent, using it for do this one. So the vendor will still be using your money to cash out. So when you see the money to pay, so at one load that maybe almost level, land they usually use it very well, and maybe in the process of using it, the land is even more gaining more momentum, gaining more value. Then you will now sell it to one very rich billionaire for 50 million naira, and then you'll be dragging one person for 5 million without dragging just lower. So you see anything instrumental land payment, instrumental land payment, avoid it. Don't do it. Keep your money in your account. It is better that way than losing money all in the meaning of how to have property. So number 4 on our list, common mistake is not doing personal research. So like I said, no matter whoever came to tell you about the land or whatever, make sure to do your background research. That's one thing I miss one of my former landlords, the house I stayed. That one is only he stays abroad. I don't know if you stay abroad. He stays abroad, but he has this, I don't know, is it computer? It's not computer. You see, it's like this GPS thing that he used to check the environment. Like this man was outside the country and he built his house from zero to this thing. Why this thing? There's one, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, please leave it in the comment section so that other people, especially Nigerians abroad, can actually learn from me. There's this thing like GPS. You just launch it to just type location, like you just use to check how the environment is and everything like that. So before you actually buy a land, make sure to do your personal research. If you're in Nigeria, if you don't have that technology, and you know that you actually work for your money, you're not your own person. Nigeria, know they buy teddy boards you. I will actually advise you. You get me? Advise you. You can't even trust family members. You guys know, right? You can't trust family members. Calm down yourself. Come and make your research yourself. There is one advert I saw recently. If you stay in Ibadan, you guys you know what I'm talking about. So they bought a land in Elebu. I don't know if you are from Ibadan. If you are not from Ibadan, ask your friend that stays in Ibadan about Elebu, Ibadan. So this particular estate company, they actually bought a particular land in Elebu area, and then they converted it to estate. Like they just built gates, and then they started selling one plot of land for guess how much. I saw the advertiser. I just like Elebu. When I'm editing this video, maybe I'll attach some this because I want to be posting videos when I went to look for house. Elebu Ibadan. See, I don't know. And I'm not the type that actually used to know house very well. But me, when I went to that Elebu to go and look for house, and funny enough, I actually went during the rainy season, like I told you. Oh God. Even the house that I saw, it will be as if from that junction, I'm going on another journey. And throughout that side, like going like this, the bush. And so when I saw the picture of the land with the bush, it said, and you know the funny thing? The land, sorry, the road leading to that place, guys, if you don't get jeep, nothing come. Nothing come. It's only people that has jeep, tall cars. It was even one of my friends that actually took me there. He had a jeep. His car actually spoiled. I was attaching the video on it. Jeep new. Car actually spoiled. So that's the one that your estate people, your agents people are actually selling for. Do you know what they're selling one plot of land? I just laugh. Just easy. That road last song. Let alone the bush. Let alone the inside. You know that there are some house that is inside. And there are some that is inside. There are some that is inside. Guys, that day, even the guy, I think he was just coming. He thought I wanted to kidnap him. We kept going. We kept going. We kept going. That side there, after 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, when you're coming outside, you can't see bike. You can only see bike to take you inside. So at least, okay, if you have more Aisha, and then during rainy season, and of course, I think the land is almost sold out. I saw people paying for it. So you just saw property. Somebody advertising it. You do not even make inquiries. You don't even call somebody in Ibadan. Hey, how is the Elebu area? Oh, how is this one? Oh, how is that one? Oh. New site in Elebu. Is this? I say, if you have 5 minutes, like you have coma, and you have 5 minutes to leave, just know that you are dead. Before they bring you out of that corner. So, not making personal research. Before you pay for anything, before you pay for property, make sure you sit with your koro eyes. With your koro eyes. Sometimes, even when you sit with your koro eyes, it might not be too sure. You might still make some mistake, but it's still better. Sit with your koro eyes. And the funny thing is, that day, I actually wanted to take the house because the house was fine. The Elebo house was really very fine. You guys will see the video. She was really very fine. So I was doubting that bush, that distance. So that's why I just went with my friend there. The guy just kept going. I was like, Auntie, nothing come. I was like, I try having business outside now. She be, I'm always seeing though. I said, nothing come. And the house was very cheap. That's one of the reasons I wanted to take it. It was very cheap. But behind me, bushes. This one, bushes. So, anyways, let's move to the next one. So, not doing personal research is actually a mistake. So, before you buy a land, make sure to make research from your friend, from people living around there, from the neighbors, from everything, even from Google. Go to Naira land. If you want to buy a house, for example, Elebu Ibadan, put Naira land, ask how the house is, check for pictures, make your own personal research. Don't rush to pay. So number 5 is not knowing the reason, like reason for property sales. Reason for property sales is very, very important, extremely important. Some of you, because they've said that this land that you know that is worth 4 million, they're selling for 1 million. Bacam, you jump, sharp, you do transfer, you don't want to hear anything. Why is the person selling it for 1 million? They'll tell you distress sale. Which year distress sale? You should say that distress sale, or there's court dispute on it. Or maybe there's this thing. Maybe there's something going on in the area. Maybe the person that bought it has found out some mismadros, mismatches in that area or anything. The person is trying to this thing, and then you, because the thing is 1 million, sharp, you don't transfer, and then when you now come, you now be the one dragging the court case. So before you pay for any land, make sure you actually know the reason for the sale. Some land are just there for natural sale. We know that one. But especially ones that maybe they built something on it and then they are trying to sell. It could be a committed land. It could be an acquired land that they are trying to sell for you. And you, because it's coming for cheap money, bang, you transferred money, you bought it, then you start against this lower. I beg. Number 6, leaving the land empty. Most of you make this mistake. Sometimes you just feel like you only just to use money and just tie something down. Tie the money in your account, okay? After buying land, some of you, after buying land, you just leave it and that's it. So when you talk to your friend, I have one property in Kinikon. When last did you go and check it? What last have you done on the land? Have you ever done anything? So one very common mistake is leaving a land dormant. Don't ever leave your land dormant. Keep something going on it. Even if you don't know what you want to use it for, even if you are not doing it, just keep something going. You can even rent it out for farming. You can give it to a farmer to be farming maize, cassava, anything. Just keep the land busy. Let them know that somebody is there. Even when they want to resell the land, God, they will know that there used to be somebody there. Even when somebody wants to resell it, the person that is working there will be like, Oga, you rent this person, they come here, they come snap picture. From there, you start taking early action. But if the land is dormant and everything, you don't even check it, till they finish building on your land, till they finish erecting and giving birth to children, you will not even know. Sometimes gone. After leaving your land empty for how many years, you will not come back. You will not be like, wait, is this place now? It's like this. It's like this. You not behaving like a mad person. No, it's this one because bushes have gone all over. And then the person that rents house or buy the next land beside you, the person will build his own land and come and cut part of your land, and you start arguing, your fence is not supposed to be here, it's supposed to be there. You go break your fence. You know if you break your fence now, that one are your own. Some people will do this thing. I've had that type of experience in one of my friends. They built house in Norway. Guys, that their fence was funny. I don't make video. Their face, like, it was not even straight. It was like, God. I beg, don't ever leave your rented land, your paid land empty. Do something on it. If you don't have money to actually build a house yet, you can rent it out for a farmer to be using it to farm. You can actually rent it out. You can just do maybe normal structure on it. You can just raise the fence. Just do something on it. Just don't leave it with bushes there. And you can actually use it for storehouse. You see all these Hawaii, Ibokwenu brothers, or even Yoruba people that need storage. You can just build 4 feet container, something like that. Do storehouse to rent, depending on the location, depending on how close it is. You get, so depending on what it is, just think of something. Just keep something doing. Just keep it doing. Like that one will even give you peace of mind that you have something, like peace than leaving it empty. So if you know you are not ready to use it to lease, use it for farming or anything, please don't buy the land. Don't buy it. Keep your money. Don't come and tell me land appreciates in the next 2 years, the land will be 10 million. That you bought this land for 4 million naira. In the next 2 years, it will be 10 million naira. My dear, it's better to have your 4 million naira in your account that nobody scam you than having the paid for the 4 million and you are losing the land, you are losing everything. If you're not ready to build, if you're not using it, if you're not ready to use it for rent, if you're not using to ready to resell it, don't buy at all. Unless maybe you actually have a family member that maybe lives opposite the house or close to the area that can help you to be looking at it. If not, don't buy land and abandon it. This is Nigeria. So next on our list is number 7 is buying in local or bushy areas or bush areas in a bit to save money. See, this is another very, very common mistake people make. Some people can call the agent, I have 200,000 naira, I have 300,000 naira, I have, things are really costing now. Some people can say I have 1 million naira, where can I buy like 2 plots of land? And then the agent will keep taking you inside one bush. Clinic on, you go and buy. You say, you'll be like, I'm a landed owner, where do you have it? Inside one place, clinic on that. In the next 2 years now, when you sell the land for this thing, you have more money. Look at me, look at you. Look at me, look at you. This is Nigeria. This is Nigeria. Land does not develop as fast as you think. Cities do not develop. Places, villages, local areas do not develop as much as you think. See, this is Nigeria. The city keeps developing, continuously developing. Why the villages is as if they are either stagnant or they keep going back or they are just there. This is Nigeria. How you will know is ask yourself, for most of you that were not born in mega cities like Lagos, Port Harcourt, anything, if you were raised in maybe in a local area, ask yourself, the place your father and your mother, where they have their house, it's been over how many years now? How is the place? Has there been any development? Has anything increased there? Is there new industrialization there? What's up with that place now? I will use my own as example. I grew up in Okitubukpa. When I was growing up in Okitubukpa, at least then we still even used to have lights like once in a month, sometimes twice in a month or twice in 3 years. Guys, you can ask anybody in Okitubukpa now. For the past 15 years, is it 15 or something? 15 years. They do not even know what NEPA looks like. There is nothing. In fact, they don't even have NEPA office again. Whereas then, when I was staying there, I used to have. But then, if I wanted to buy land, I'll feel like when I buy this land and I come back in the next 10 years or 15 years, I'll be able to sell it at a higher price. Things would have developed and everything. This is 10 and 15 years. What has changed? My parents are staying there. My parents built a house there. When I actually wanted to travel and I actually needed money, I told my mom has a house, my dad has his own house. I told my mom that later just sell something. She was like, even if she want to sell, how much she want sell them? How much she want sell them? If I don't want buy them, even when she sell them, they will be paying her small, small. So don't make that mistake. I just want to buy land because I just want to buy land. Stop buying land in local areas. Stop buying land inside bushes. This is Nigeria. Cities, villages does not develop as much as you think. See, when they talk about 10 years, 15 years, 10 years, 15 years actually looks big. Oh, it's a whole lot of time. 10 years, 15 years. In fact, when they ask you, where do you see yourself in 10, 15 years, you'll be like, oh, I'll be rolling in money, I'll be rolling in dollars. When you were in secondary school, when they ask where do you see yourself in the next 10, 15 years, what do you tell them? You don't roll in that dollars now. You don't do them now. 10, 15 years, 20 years, they look like a huge difference. But close your eyes and open it. The time is here. So it's always looking like a big time and everything. So the only place that actually used to develop, that maybe if you buy a land for maybe 4 million naira, and then maybe in the next 10 years it will have doubled or even tripled, is mega cities. And that is because industries are moving there. They are creating more job opportunities. They are building organizations there. So that is the reason for that huge in cost in landed properties. Can you guys compare how many this thing? In fact, when I went to Lagos, from here you see one bank. From here you see the same bank again. Like, they have so many organizations, there's so many offices, so many industrializations have taken place in the next so many years. That is why landed properties keeps appreciating, keeps increasing drastically is a bad word, like exponentially. Let me use that word. But in your village, who is it Dangote? Why Dangote? Is it Dangote that will go to your village and go and build land here? Is it this thing? Even in October, the highest thing I think we have is that pharmacy person, Sinako or something. So when you say the land is in a bushy area, is in a local area, so don't worry, in the next few years you develop. You know they develop. This is Nigeria. You see how it's as if we are even moving backward. The road that is not good to somewhere, the road will not be good. It will keep getting worse. Maybe till when a new person wants to enter and then they're trying to act like a nice person. Don't ever buy land or buy a property in a local, underdeveloped area. It will never develop. I'm not trying to be negative. It will develop, but that time, you go down the work out with stick. And even that developed, it could just be like, this is Nigeria. You guys know what I'm talking about. The development in villages is very, very local. It's very, very, like, nothing. I just gave you an example of my hometown. When I was based there, we used to have like once in a month. Now, there's no even NEPA office. What they even say they are using NEPA office for? I think the late thing that we have, at least we have police station. Yes, there's police station there. What else again? Even Nigeria, it took Nigeria how many years to get independence? Then you now think in the next 10 years. Now, some things they develop rich. Most people, when they leave the village place, when they leave the local area, that's it, they've traveled. Nobody wants to come back and come and invest in this thing. So this place, they keep going. Is it possible? How many work they Okitibupa? So that's why, so another reason for slow development is because they are not building industries, they are not building work, they are not building things for people to work. Like, job opportunities are actually in the mega cities. Would I be staying in Oktupa and come and be working in Lagos? No, of course. So when you carry all your money, I feel like you buy 1 acre of land there. What are you going to use it for? Who is going to stay there? The person that wants to stay there, what is the person going to be selling? Where is the person going to be working? In which office? Did they build any office there? Even the banks that are in this thing, they are colorful like this. Small this thing that they are not even up to how many staff. My brother stays there currently. If I tell you how much he's paying for rent, the amount he's paying for rent is like the amount I use for prepaid meter in 2 months. The amount my brother is paying for rent in Okitibupa is the amount I used to pay for prepaid meter 2 months. in mega city, and it's been how many years? So I just even feel like my brother is even collecting free salary because he's not spending much on rent. They tell you say rent 60,000, rent 100k. If you stay rent 150k, say go, but I say you go do juju, that kind of thing. So even when you buy land in those local underdeveloped area, you will never get value for your money. And that is why I said land actually appreciates, but if you are not careful, it can actually depreciate. So imagine spending millions of naira getting a land in a local area, erecting a building for residential purpose or commercial purpose, but then when it's time to rent it, who is going to rent it? The people that are staying in that local areas, how much are they earning? They cannot afford your taste. They cannot. So what happens? Last, you end up renting the house out at a very cheap, ridiculous rate. That's one of those problems of my landlord from where I was coming from, the mansion that I stayed. Built very fine house in a local underdeveloped place. He actually wanted to use the place for short lets. Then the agent was like, who want to do short lets, passing all this magnitude of water here? Nobody will come. Very fine house, very dope house. He wanted to rent the house for this particular fee. Then he had to like slash it into half. And before he even saw tenants, oh God, you guys will see this. Before he got tenants, that means then they've checked everywhere, they did not see house. They just made it come manager before he got tenant for the house. So don't feel like you just want to have land. I just want to say that when people are talking about investment, you feel, hey, I have land there, I want to have land there. Just want to have land because you want to have. It's better you save the money in your account, save up and have land in a mega city or a very fast developing area. Don't have it in a local area. This is Nigeria. Anything that is underdeveloping will keep underdeveloping or might even be retrogressing. But cities are always cities. They keep improving. They keep doing this one. In underdeveloped area, if the road is not good, everybody will just be managed. But in mega city, maybe where you are, maybe two factories not far from you, this one is not far from you. Of course, they want to repair that distance, you actually benefit from it. So that's one advantage of mega city. Don't just buy land because you want to buy land. Land appreciates, but if you don't do it in the right way, it can actually depreciate. Not be all land they appreciate. Not be all land they appreciate. Then another thing is buying land in a place you cannot stay. Why would you buy? You yourself, you know, say you don't feel live for that kind of place. Who won't come live there? Imagine somebody building mansion in Otukpana where there is no light, there is no this thing, and then you're not putting high price. You can stay there without lights. Now only you go stay inside your house. Then number 8 common reason is consultation. Number 8 reason is consultation, like consulting your lawyer before you actually buy land or you finalize land. I said lawyer, I did not say realtor, I did not say agent. See, the sincere agent, they're not up to 0.0001%. Other agents, no try am. Consult a lawyer, and I mean original certified lawyer. A lawyer will actually know more about the land, things to ask, than everything. So maybe when the lawyer has now verified it, though, you cannot call a surveyor or something like that. But generally, I prefer a lawyer. Be sure to call a lawyer. You know more about landed properties, all these gbas and everything than an agent. Agents, it's only their 10% that concern them or their 20%. Anything aside that, now you are your destiny. So the next one is number 9, goal of buying. So number 9 on our list is the goal of buying. What is your reason for buying the land? Do you actually have a goal? Do you have something in mind? Sometimes, most times, people just feel like because you have more money in your account, you just want to use to tie something down. Is it that thing where we say, "Now keep tying down, So what is your reason for actually acquiring the land? Are you using it for residential purpose, for commercial purpose, for lease, for this? Like, what is your reason? Because when you actually have a particular reason in mind, when you actually have a goal in mind, That one will actually be like a navigator to actually know where to actually get your apartment, where to actually get your land. Because if you want to acquire a land for residential purpose, of course you try to get a place that is livable, not getting a place that you yourself you cannot stay. Because if you build a house in a place that you cannot stay, you will end up renting it out less than. People just tell you, there's money in landed properties when you do rentals and everything. Imagine using 10 million to build. Can they tell me 10 million build a house? See, even when you rent this thing out, you cannot get your money in 1 year, 2 year, 3 years safe. Depending on how many days, you cannot. So you really have to be strategic about it. So if you acquire a land because you want to use it for shop or anything, someone will actually navigate you intending this thing or whatever. So don't just buy land because you just want to buy, because you want to be a landowner. You just want to have something. So that when people are talking, I have property here, I have property there, I have property, you too, you'll be like, me say, I have property, I have property. Number 10 common mistake is buying because it's cheap. I think I've said something like that, or distress sale. So it's almost something like, the reason why you're buying the land. Don't fall for land, or don't buy land because inside bush is like 2,000 naira. That kind of thing. Think well. So number 11 common reasons again is environmental factor, and this is one thing you guys do not pay attention to, and this is mostly common to under or developing areas. So when somebody tell me that all this money they are wasting on accommodation, why not use it to buy a land? I have problem staying with either noisy neighbors, dirty neighbors, all this thing. I have this thing. So imagine me getting a land, and then I'm the first person to actually build my house, and then the next neighbor beside me is maybe a Yahoo boy that used to make noise, and the one beside me is one very dirty person. So I'm gonna pack from the place. So that's why I used to tell people, it's not about just buying land. Know your purpose, know your purpose, know your reason for it, unless maybe it's actually an estate. So before you actually buy a land, before you pay for a land, consider environmental factors. Environmental factors like cultism, armed robbery, security. Even if you're using the place for residential, why would you have tenant that they cannot even sleep at night? Just like my house in Agbowo. Guys, to sleep at night, I'm always sleeping with one eye. It's either somebody will jump inside the fence and come and tear somebody's window and steal phone. That thank God I was upstairs. Like when you wake up in the morning like this, you will see bush area boys from this side. From this side, you'll be seeing some local places too. Then at the middle of the night, somebody will jump inside the fence to come and steal somebody's phone. I did not even finish my rent there. I ran away. And I'm sure other people too have run away. So why would you actually build a house in a place that is not safe? So make sure to actually consider environmental factor. So that's why I actually used to advise against buying a house in the bush or local area. Because when you buy a house in the bush or local area, you don't even know who your future neighbor is going to be. You don't even know how the area is going to be or anything. So it's actually maybe better if it's still mega city. You know that most time mega city, people that kind of thing. And you know that when you buy land in local or village area, we have all these village jobless boys that they don't do everything for a living. I stayed in a place like Owerri like that. Once you just start entering the entrance like this, you just see them, they'll be sitting down outside. Even Elebu too. When I used to go for Elebu, those boys, they were there. They don't have anything to do. You just sit down outside, you just be looking. But in mega city, you see everybody running, doing this one, doing that one, keep it this thing. So those jobless people, one day. Another thing about local bushy areas, that is where Yahoo boys actually like to go and hide or rent their house because they are running from us. So the day when we say maga no pay, who go pay them? Now you or your tenants. So make sure to actually consider environmental factors. Security, number one, especially in Nigeria, that places are not safe. Consider the proximity to maybe this one, maybe that one, everything like that. Don't just buy land because you want to buy land. What's your landed property? So number 12 is agent's prayer. Sometimes maybe even when you buy your land or this, sometimes you just be like you get back to him or something, and then the agent will pressure you, ever lenye oda ile to gbeni osumo kini kan. You know all this that sweet mouth, don't fall for it. No agent is sincere. Is that 10% that they want. No agent is sincere. Is that 10% that they want. The only sincere agent that I think I know is that one from my house that actually give me 10% decrease from 5% decrease for my 10%. If not, no agent is sincere. They will sweet mouth for you. Is they are bothered about their 10%, I be 20% that they want to collect. You see it. Another one is number 15. Sending money to family members. I'm sure that you guys know it. We've read a lot of stories. This one stays abroad, send money to this one to build house and everything. And then you come and see one thing. Sometimes you will not even do anything. But you still have some trusted people, maybe like your mom, your dad. I still prefer nuclear family, mom or dad. But you see those extended family, leave them. So depending on, I don't know, I actually prefer you doing it yourself too. I actually prefer. So next is number 16 is surveyor of the area plan. This piece is getting old. So next one is surveyor of the area or the plan of the area. I told you all land belongs to the government. Regardless of how empty the land is, how free or anything is, every land has actually had a plan, a surveyor plan. So before you pay for any land, after if you like it, make sure to request for the surveyor plan from the person that you are actually buying it from. And then maybe number 17 is buying land from agents. Generally, I would actually prefer you buy land from the real owner. The real owner of the land, they always stress on less. And even before you make transfer and anything, make sure that you're buying from the real owner. And you can actually confirm this as well. So number 18 is paying in cash. When you pay in cash, just forget about the land because what's your evidence? So even when they tell you to pay in cash, tell them you cannot carry money, do bank transfer. So do bank transfer for them or FIH. Just do something that will make it like internet, something that you actually have receipt of payment. Never ever pay in cash for land. Aside land, never pay cash for anything, so that you actually have this thing. Then number 19 is swapping land. For example, maybe somebody is your friend, maybe you had the bet and say, yeah, take my land, give me your car, take my wife, take me, and then we just mount, no seal documents, nothing, just not that, you know. So if you want to do trade by barter or anything, it should be signed by a lawyer. You guys contract a lawyer and it will actually sign this thing between you guys. Number 20 is deed of assignment. So this one is the document part of it. After you fulfill all this righteousness and everything, you've seen the land that you actually like, is deed of assignment. Some of you do not even know what it means. So another disadvantage of actually paying in cash is because of all this omonile. You see all this omonile? When you pay them in cash, in your presence like this, they will start sharing your money and everything. They will start sharing your money like this. So when you come with the next and say, where's your evidence? Where's your this one? So deed of assignment is just like transfer of ownership. okay, this land is for me, I'm selling it to you, and I'm writing it that this property now belongs to you. So this deed of assignment is actually like the vendor that will actually give you, or if you're actually buying land for money, not just use mouth talk, make sure to contract a lawyer to actually draft a deed of assignment for you that you guys are going to sign, and you take it to the family house. The olori ebi, the head of the family, everybody is going to sign that this land, though, they gave it to you, they sold it to you in areas future. That kind of thing. So don't just use mouth and say, if they say there's no paper, you can't do paper. And please, before you do the paper, I said it earlier, you actually go to town planning or land revenue or land something, depending on this thing. You have to actually just go and confirm the place. So after confirming if the place is committed, or this thing, like if it's actually a free land, or before you actually do your deed of agreement. So number 20 is registration. After deed of assignment, that's not the last thing you're gonna do. After deed of assignment, you still have to register your land. Some people, after collecting their deed of assignment, they'll just gonna sit and say, oh, because that deed of assignment is just between you as you and the vendor or the seller of the land. The government does not know about it. To the government, they still feel like this land is free. So you have to go and register the land. So you go to land revenue, go to surveyor, land registry. So you can take it to land registry, local government, depending on your area, land registry, local government, land revenue, anything land, or just make inquiries where you can actually register it. So you actually go and register your land. So after registering the land, this one will bring us to the next one, which is number, I've lost count, governor's consent. So it is after collecting your deed of assignment and using that deed of assignment to actually register, that's when they will now give you governor's consent. That governor's consent means that I am aware as the governor of this state, that you, Mr. Kolegbelegbe or Mrs. Kankpankpan, you've actually bought this land from Mr. Kafansha, and it now belongs to you, and me, I don't have any rights to come and do anything to you till the next 100 years. So when you finish paying for your land, at the end of the day, make sure you have documents, your survey plan, C of O, deed of assignment, and governor's consent. So you have it for documents. So, and that will be the end of today's video. And then the last one is paying excessively for land. Before you pay for any land, I've told you, make inquiries. If you want to buy land, for example, in Bodija area, just go on GG, type Bodija, go on property pool, type Bodija, go on Naira land, type Bodija, just to know the price range of this thing. Somebody should not say that because you're in London now, they should come and say one plot of land for you, $50 million, and you said you pay. The one you that is on the estate is this, is that. Before you pay for anything, make sure to contact other agents or other websites to check the price range of selling land there. So that's almost like 26 mistakes that people commonly make, and I'm sure by the time I'm editing this video it could be 28. So family, I hope you actually watch this to the end, but I know majority of you won't. Anyways, tag this lover again that should come help to collect your money. So family, if you enjoyed this video, if you like it as usual, and if you watched it up to here, type the word land in the comment section. Let me know how many people that actually watched it to the end. So family, thanks for watching today's video. Make sure you click subscribe button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and of course I have so more juicy videos to bring for you guys. So guys, I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.